Hi and welcome to More War. The purpose of this channel is to really help you understand how to play Warhammer. Now Warhammer is based off a point system, and this point system keeps the game fair. So here we're going to show you how to build a 1000 point army with my beautiful gross boys. Now the minimum you will need for a 1000 point list is going to be 1 leader, which are here, and 2 battle line choices as well, which we've got over here in these 2 different units. Each of these models will have a different point cost. Obviously, the bigger the model, the more points it's going to cost. The more powerful the model, also the more points it's going to cost. So bigger does not mean more expensive. In here, again, we've got the battle line choices. Now your battle line are essentially your troops. So they're going to be a model where there's going to be multiple of the same model. So here we've got the Plague Bears, and as you can see there are 10 in a single unit, and here we have the Blight Kings, which are a little bit more point heavy but a little bit more powerful, and that's why there are only 5 of them. So to build a list you need to select 1 leader. I'm going to take the Lord of Plagues. He is my leader. Now picking a slightly less powerful model allows you more points to free up for other choices. So by choosing him, it's going to give me a lot more options compared to if I picked this big boy. To give you an idea, this guy is worth 495 points, whereas he is worth, bear with me, whereas he is worth 145 points. Now you can definitely take this guy. That now is going to restrict what you can bring in addition to him. So again, you have to play this tactfully, but there are multiple different ways of building a list. Again, rule of cool will always prevail. If you want to bring him, bring him. But again, be aware that that does restrict what else you can bring.
So Ben, what are you doing here at the minute?
So here we have the app. All you do is go onto your app, and I'm just going to type in Nurgle, and then you choose your faction. You've got the 4 main factions. So you've got Order, Chaos, Death, and Destruction. Every army will be categorized in here. So we are Chaos. So we are King of Nurgle. Sub-factions, to keep it simple, are just little extra boons or flavour to your army. I'm just going to go no sub-faction for this. So I'm going to go nothing, scroll down, choose battle pack. We're going to do pitch battles, and then we're going to points limit. We're going to go to 1000 first of all.
So 1000 points is really the minimum you can sort of have for a legal game.
Yes, some tournaments will say 1000 points and some will go all the way to 2. Now I would suggest everybody start aiming towards building a 1000 point list. And again, points are simply there to keep the game balanced as it can be. So we're going to be building a 1000 point list, and I'm going to show you how to do that with this army here. So So 250, battle line choice 1, 250, battle line choice 2, leader 495. So that is a 1000 point list. Again, it actually comes in at 995. Now when you are creating an army, you cannot exceed this number. If you can get the 1000 points, good on you, well done. That's hard to do. But again, you cannot go over no matter how close it is to being 1000. So if you went 1005, that's not a legal list. So as you can see at the bottom left of the screen, it says 0 out of 1000 points. And all we do is hit plus. And here we go, we've got our leaders. So as I said earlier, you need to have a minimum of 1 leader and at least 2 battle line if you're doing a 1000 point list. So here, I'm going to select my Scrivener. And that's now being added to my total. So 120 points. It's the cheaper of the leaders. And I'm going to add 1 unit of Plague Bears, and 1 unit of Blight Kings. So that's now my minimum requirements taken care of. So
Okay. So even though there's only 520 points there, could you start a game with that anyway?
you could, yeah, definitely. If your opponent does the same thing, again, this is the way I've always put this is, if you agree with your opponent that you're going to do a certain amount of points, that's fine. You can, it doesn't matter. You don't need to just do points. You can just have fun. Again, this is the whole point of this game, is to have fun. But this just keeps it balanced and gives you a little bit of a fair fight as such. But you could definitely do this. You can definitely start with just a leader and battle line. So here I have now got the minimum that I need. So I've still got 480 points to play around with here, and this allows you some flexibility. Again, if I brought someone like this boy, the amount of things I could choose from will be fairly limited. So again, sometimes choosing the less heavy pointed hero allows you a bit more flexibility. And again, depending on what game type you're playing, that is very, very important. So I've got 480 points to play with. Let's fill this list. I'm going to bring a Beast of Nurgle, who is worth 110 points. And I'm going to bring some smelly babies, aka Nurglings. Now that still leaves me with a couple of points to play around with. I've actually got, this is now worth 735 points. Now I am going to bring these boys here, the Pus Goyle Blight Lords. The reason I'm bringing them is because they have a fairly good move characteristic, and that allows me a little bit of flexibility on the board. Again, a lot of the games you play in Warhammer are going to be objective based, which requires your army to move around and capture objectives or hold objectives. So having a bit of range and a bit of movement in your army is key. These guys give me that, as well as these guys as well, and him. Currently there are 955 points worth of models, and I have filled the necessary requirements to make this a legal army. I've got my commander, and I've got my 2 battle line choices. That is a point legal army. Is it the best army? Definitely not. That's the fun of playing Warhammer. You get to find out what armies work well, what units work together, and ultimately again it's about synergy and learning your army and having a bit of fun.